Please, please, please. I thought we'd just have a little bit more play. You know, um, our voice is influenced by so many things. I like my voice after that ATM. I'll just listen to myself talking. No. Yeah. What was I going to say? As I said, our hands, our self, as our primary tool as Feldenkrais practitioners. And it's interesting for me to see, both in myself and in students in training programs, how many people have self-consciousness or inhibitions or around speaking. So as children, as Ginny was saying, we squeal, we yell, we don't care what we say. It's until we're told, oops, children don't say that, be quiet, be seen, not heard, whatever it is. So there's our socialization process. There's can be cultural inhibitions. And often we get ideas from our parents, teachers, or trainings in particular about right way to breathe or right way to speak. So what I thought we might do now is a little bit of fun before we take it somewhere else, okay? Just to see if you can have a little bit of fun with your voice, more fun with your voice. It's great to hear you having fun. So what I'd like you to do is get together with another person. Now, it could be, seeing as you know the buddy that you moved together well with last week, if, you did the coupling this week, Monday, sorry. Julietta's. You've had some connection with that person. Maybe you want to do it with that person, maybe somebody else. You're going to walk around the room, do anything you like, actually, but you're going to take a turn. So it could be Jenny.
Jenny, come here, please. I want to go for a walk with you.
Please come with me. I want you to come my way. So you can do anything you like, but mix it up. You could do, whatever. Hold your belly, stiffen your body. You might feel the response. You might hear the response. You might see the response. Yep. Going with Jenny? Yeah, like I did with Jenny. Want to play? Okay. You're only going to do a few minutes and then we're going to go somewhere else with it. So you'll have 5 minutes to play with. You might want to try the uhs or the ees or the ers. Okay, darlings. Darlings, little merino sheep. Do you hear me? Okay, come and gather around. So notice, yeah, what it feels like to have been able to be silly, to experiment, to explore, kind of be a little more childlike, so to speak. So Jenny and I were just having a conversation about, you know, like this, about what is it that we're communicating when we first touch someone. What is our intention? So it can be first touch with the hands or first touch with the voice. And Jenny and I both, thought what Jenny said, and so we agreed with each other that when we touch someone, we make that first contact. It's about, for me and for Jenny, it was about hello. How are you? There you are. Here I am. You have the ground. You are taking up space. I'm taking up space. We're together. And also that I respect you. You're a human being who has as much right to be here as me. And I don't see us any different. You know, there's a equalness, and we're asking our hands to convey that. And Jenny was saying, do you want to say, Jenny, about the room, the ATM?
Yeah, and thinking about the first touch of voice, what is it that you want people to hear? Do you want people to hear, well, I'm the boss and I'm going to tell you what to do? Or, hello, welcome into this space. You're going to be safe here.
So a few things that I mentioned yesterday were volume. You know, if you're too loud or too quiet, then it really makes a difference what somebody else needs to do in order to hear you. Or if I'm pulling my words in rather than projecting them out. So volume and being able, you were playing that a bit with where you projected your voice to, where you were thinking of projecting your voice to. Sometimes when you teach ATM, you might think the space isn't big or you're going to have that many people, and you have a big space and no microphone. So we need to be able to project our voice. And then what happens if I talk really fast like this and I'm just going in, what's happening about the weather and blah, 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 blah. So you're going to probably tune off or tune out. Yeah, or get frazzled, feel, you know, anxious. Or if I go, could you please lie on your back? And so speed, if you talk really slowly, it's good night class. Some lessons you can use that slowness to modulate the lesson, pace the lesson, and you can use the speed. Sometimes if it's a quiet lesson, you don't want people to go to sleep, you can, you know, heighten the rhythm of your voice. So it was volume, speed, pitch, yeah, and the language we use, very much the language used, but pitch. You're playing a bit with pitch in that lesson, but pitch and tone are going to convey a lot. So I think Jenny might be able to help me out or someone else. What the statistics are that about 75% of our communication comes through the tone of the voice and the body language. 75%. Yeah. Yep. So it's really high. So if I don't really want to be here today, you're going to quite quickly get it. Or if I'm offering an invitation, please lie on your back. I'm conveying a different message that, with that sort of tone. So what I would like you to play with now, what you're going to explore now, you can do it in the 3 or the 2 that you were just with. But do you remember how last week we were asking questions with our hands, finding out the height of the space underneath someone, the shape of their space, the width of their shoulders, you know, the volume of their legs. Those sort of details we usually guide people's attention to in a scan. So you can translate the questions you did with your hands to questions that you ask with your voice as a way of beginning a lesson. So we're going to have a little practice at that. So there's any number of ways you can do it. So one person will lie on the floor. If you feel you have some questions to ask to guide someone's attention, you could sit at their head or sit at their feet and speak those questions. If you run out of questions, you could think. Jenny did the scanning lesson, dimensions, lengths, volumes, comparisons. You could think, what question could I ask with my hand here in this place? So if it's under the shoulder, is there any space under your shoulder? So I'm not sure what question to ask. Maybe I'll put my hand under the neck. Oh, can you sense the shape of the space under your neck? How long is it? How wide is it? Yes? And then you'll switch roles. Mm-hmm. You can do, what I said was you can do both. So the intention is really to verbalize questions that help guide a person's attention to themselves. We did that last week with our hands. You had it for yourself. You experienced it yourself. So if you run out of questions, then you can use your hands to find another question. Yeah? They're not going to answer. Yeah.
Are we just
Actually, how about we do it in 4s? Just changed my mind. How about we do it in 4s so that you can take turns in asking a question and tuning into yourself, how you're sitting, how you're standing, and what sort of sound you're asking the question with.
So is it just verbal to begin with, and then
verbal? Yeah.
And then using hands.
If you run out of questions, you can use your hands. Not to ask the question, but to find a question. So maybe it would help prompt you to think of a question, to touch the person, to feel a shape, to feel an angle. But you use your eye. You can use your eyes too.
Mm-hmm.
This time you can do it however you like. So let's give you an example. Let's have person. Somebody please lie down. Okay, thank you. Jenny, do you want to come with me? Okay. Oh, yeah, thanks. Okay. So lie on your back on the floor.
we taking turns?
Yes. Sorry. Thank you.
Can you sense the difference in distance between your two hands and sides of you?
Now, in a scan, we do tend to have some pattern in how we invite someone to guide their intention, but it's not necessary. So notice where you feel the movement of your breathing. Is it more, I'm going to have two questions. Is it more in your abdomen or more in your chest?
Can you sense movement from your breath anywhere else?
Think about the width of your shoulders. Which is wider, the width of your shoulders or the distance between your big toes? Get the idea? Okay. Yes, let's do it in trees. I said fours before, but change my mind again.
So it's 2 up and 1 down? Or one
Two up and one down.
Right.
And you're going to have 3 or 4 minutes, then you're going to switch.